Good afternoon, this is Lunchtime News on News First. You're with Nicola De Zoiza. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. The bus strike organised by the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, which commenced at midnight yesterday, was called off at 9:30 this morning. Chairman of the LPBOA, Gamunu Wijeratne, said that the strike was called off as information was received that an operation to arrest the members of the association was underway. Area residents from the Vanala village in Kantale staged a protest yesterday, requesting authorities to renovate the access road to their village. Area residents from the Vanala village in Kantale staged a protest yesterday, requesting authorities to renovate the access road to their village.
As a mark of protest, shops in the Kantale area were closed down. The demonstrators engaged in a protest march in the Kantale town. Later, the area residents who gathered opposite the divisional secretariat continued the demonstrations by blocking the Trincomalee Kandy road.
Previously, they laid concrete on the road, but it was unsuccessful. We are requesting that the road be constructed in a proper manner. We have no way of sending our children to school. 1,500 families live in this village. The roads have been in a dilapidated state for a very long time. Politicians have been telling us that a road will be constructed. Funds have been passed out, but they are not interested. Some roads were constructed for the Data Kihula. We thought this road will also be constructed under the Data Kihula program, but nothing has happened.
Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa says that the government is disappointed that farmers are inconvenienced by not receiving fertilizer on time. The minister made this statement at a function in Variapola yesterday.
This function was held to mark the conclusion of the agriculture exhibition held at the agriculture complex in Variapola in line with the National Farmers Week. There is no country in the world where prices of goods have remained the same since 2005. However, the President took measures to continuously provide fertilizer subsidies to farmers. Despite these measures, we are aware that sometimes farmers do not receive fertilizer on time and are inconvenienced. Therefore, as a government, we express our disappointment to the farming community. We are working alongside our officials to minimize these delays.
Over 140 families have been evacuated to safe locations due to torrential rains experienced in the Nuwara district. District Secretary DPG Kumarasiri, speaking to News First, said that the Dimbulpatana and Kandapula areas were the worst affected by the adverse weather.
Several houses in the Lock Hill estate in Kottagala Hatton were inundated last night after the Kottagala Oya broke its banks due to the heavy showers in the area. According to our correspondent, over 30 houses were affected by the floods.
Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya has signed the Gazette notification calling for nominations for the North Central and Northwestern Provincial Council elections. Accordingly, the accepting of nominations will begin on the 25th of July and will end on the 1st of August.
Additional Elections Commissioner RMAL Ratnayaka said that the Gazette in this regard has been sent to the government printers to be published. He said that the Gazette will be published later on in the day. Meanwhile, Additional Elections Commissioner M. Mohammed said that calling for postal voting applications for state sector employees will also begin parallel to the publishing of the Gazette notification calling for nominations. The Additional Elections Commissioner said that postal voting applications should be forwarded within 10 days of the publication of the Gazette.
People's Action for Free and Fair Elections, or PAFREL, says that 10 foreign monitors will be assigned to monitor the Northern Provincial Council elections. Its Executive Director Rohana Hettiarachchi said that PAFREL will commence monitoring activities 2 weeks prior to the elections.
For the forthcoming Northern Provincial Council, as a monitoring organisation, we are expected to invite 10 foreign observers. So those observers will coming from the Asian region, especially the Thailand, Bangladesh, Philippines, Nepal and Indonesia. They are quite experienced people throughout the Asian region. So we supposed to bring all 10 observers 2 weeks before the election.
National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon, speaking to the Indian media, has emphasized the need for Colombo to fulfill its commitment to India and the international community regarding a political settlement that would go beyond the 13th Amendment of the country's constitution. According to the Hindu, Shiv Shankar Menon had said, quote, "We have made our views clear on how we would like to see much more positive and forward movement towards reconciliation and a political resolution of the various issues which have led to ethnic politics being so polarized and fragmented in Sri Lanka in the past." Unquote. On a recent visit to the island, Menon held bilateral meetings with President Mahinda Rajapaksa, Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa regarding the recent political developments in Sri Lanka. The bus strike organised by the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, which commenced at midnight yesterday, was called off at 9:30 this morning. Chairman of the LPBOA, Gamanu Wijeratne, said that the strike was called off as information was received that an operation to arrest members of the association was underway.
The main reason for calling off the strike is that an operation is underway to arrest all regional members and organisers of the association. We cannot bear this situation. The police are chasing behind all divisional heads of the LPBOA. Therefore, we cannot continue with the strike action. The board of directors convened and took an immediate decision to commence operating buses from 9:30 this morning. The bus strike was called off. The following footage was captured by provincial correspondents on bus operations this morning.
This proves that Gamanu Wijeratne has done nothing for bus owners. Therefore, all bus owners should join us to obtain the 10% bus fare increase as per the national policy, which Gamanu Wijeratne has failed to achieve. We also extend an invitation to members of Gamanu Wijeratne's organisation to join us.
Chairman of the National Transport Commission, Roshan Gunawardena, commented on the bus strike that was called off. The passengers, the bus owners, the staff at the commission and all government factions know that there was no bus strike. They are doing things which they are incapable of doing.
Ceylon Petroleum Common Service Union says that a serious threat to the safety of employees has arisen due to the inability of authorities to properly maintain the Sapugaskanda oil refinery. Chairman of the union Ashoka Ranwala says that issues have arisen regarding the failure to update the refinery to meet fuel refinery standards, not receiving the correct type of crude oil, the failure to repair the dilapidated pipeline system and the lack of fuel tanks.
The maintenance and renovation of the refinery, which was to be implemented 25 years ago, has not been materialized. As a result, we have been facing various issues. One issue is the job security of the employees at the refinery. There have been problems in the refinery process as well. 2 employees have lost their lives due to a leak that occurred at the refinery a few months ago. We have requested that relevant authorities to provide solutions to these problems. When news first inquired about the matter from the managing director of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Susanta Silva, he said that attention has been focused on carrying out repair and maintenance work at the refinery. He further said that the CPC is looking at accurate and effective ways in carrying out maintenance.
The Puttlam magistrate issued an order for a body to be exhumed from the Negombo Ettugala cemetery yesterday.
The body which was exhumed belonged to a 21-year-old individual who died during an excursion in the Vanathavilluva area in Puttlam around 2 months ago. The body was exhumed following a complaint made by the parents alleging that the death was a homicide. Thereby a team of specialist judicial medical officers of the Ragama Teaching Hospital exhumed the body under the supervision of Negombo Additional Magistrate Dulani Veeratunga. The police said that the body was handed over to the Ragama Teaching Hospital for investigations.
Well, that's all the news we have for you for now. I am Nicola Dizoiza for News First. Join us at 1:55 for the latest news.
Hotline 0114 896 896.